guys, and welcome back to our channel. Now, I want us to talk about the TikTok ban controversy, which has ignited a firestorm of outrage across America, with many questioning the true motives behind the government's decision. Now, as we take a look into this heated debate, we'll hear from everyday Americans who are fed up with the government's attempts to shut down the popular social media app. From concerns about affordability and the potential for corporate greed to accusations of hypocrisy and ulterior motives, the voices of the people are loud and clear. As one lady pointed out, if China would have sold the app to us, I bet they would not make it free. Why are you worried about a Chinese app but not concerned about China owning farmland, supplying medicine, and manufacturing goods in the US? Now, these thought-provoking questions and criticisms raise important concerns about national security, corporate interests, and the role of government in regulating social media. Is the TikTok ban really about protecting America, or is it a thinly veiled attempt to stifle competition and maintain control? With that said, let's take a look at these videos as different people share their thoughts on this. I will be right back.
They want to take TikTok from us, but they can't make life affordable. If China would have sold the app to us, I bet they would not make TikTok free. They would probably charge you like a month-to-month fee or some like that, if you know what I mean. I'm glad that China didn't give in and sell it to us. I'm actually really glad. You think? No. Keep your TikTok. Don't give it to us. Don't give it to us, because life is not affordable here. Housing is up. There's homeless people. Like, why are they not getting help? Sometimes I see veterans that are homeless and they're not getting help from the country they fought for. But y'all want to take TikTok? That should be the least of your worries. Help your people. All y'all want to do is take from us. Take. Gosh, I'm over it.
I would much rather move outside of the United States than start fresh on another app. I worked so hard to get to 57,000 followers on here. I've tried YouTube, I don't like it. I've tried Instagram, it gives me anxiety. I've tried Threads, it's confusing. Twitter's just... I'd rather just move outside of the United States, if I'm being 1,000% honest. And I don't think that's me being out of line or outlandish. Everything's happening.
Since TikTok is headed for the chopping block, and we don't know really if it's going or not. So my question for the government is, y'all are worried about a Chinese app, but you're not concerned at all. If China is the enemy that y'all say that it is, then why do they own so much farmland in the United States? Number one. Number two, why do you let China supply us with most of our medicines? Why do y'all let China manufacture almost everything that we need? You saw in 2020, when the world shut down, how bad it was because China made everything. But y'all ain't got no problem with that, do you? You ain't got no problem with the health care in this country. Why don't you get started on something that really matters? Because for me and my husband, it costs $1,200 to get decent insurance. That is more than our mortgage for health care. Meanwhile, my son doesn't make enough to add his son to a policy. Isn't that the whole entire point of the health care, was that everybody had access to health care? No, you have to go to Medicaid, which you have to jump through hoops to get Medicaid. You can't just sign up for it. You have to give all this information. And then if you don't get it quick enough, then you get denied. How about the folks in Western North Carolina? Why don't you do something about that situation? No, y'all want to cut TikTok off because that is how all the information that gets out there is available to everybody, because you can't control it. And to say that you have to sell a company, is that not communism right there, what y'all are doing? That's being a bully. That's what that is. Good day.
I want to reword this. The United States Supreme Court has decided not to hear any arguments regarding the TikTok ban bill today, making the January 19th ban imminent, barring some sort of miracle. ByteDance is said to pull all of its applications from United States app stores on the 19th. We will no longer be able to access the apps. The American government is only showing the entire rest of the world that they will only allow American citizens access to misinformation if it has the Israeli stamp of approval. To the American government, you'll find me on Red Note. Ni hao.
My universe wants me to get used to not using this app because I haven't really felt like posting and I haven't really been in the mood to scroll either. I don't think we should delete it off our phones. I think it's going to be gone for a little bit, but it's going to come back before the summer. What's going to happen between now and then is that everybody in the government is going to see the effects that it's having on people and how they feel about them. So they are going to lobby to bring it back, because the constituents are going to make it known that it's not okay, that it's gone. And they're not going to have enough jobs to fill the loss that people are going to feel from not making money on TikTok. They are going to feel the pressure. We are going to push hard. I can feel it, but it's going to be 2 or 3 months before it gets brought back. And there's probably going to be a lot of legal terms and conditions that they'll have us agree to, but it will be back. Since I know I can make $2,000 in less than 5 minutes on this app, I would want a company to be able to pay me that much. And I just don't think that's something Meta can do. Maybe for big creators, but us smaller creators, we don't have that kind of following.
Bruh, after seeing our congressmen and women like literally argue and almost get into brawls, like I just start thinking, I'm like, y'all know y'all represent the United States, right? Like y'all know that people are watching y'all, right? Like this whole Nancy and Jasmine situation. Nancy, you know you represent the United States, right? She said, "Child, and you felt hit, and you asked her to go outside and see you and do what?" But let's be so for real, because you would have got toe up, one. But two, like, girl, you're in the middle of a debate. Like, what is going on? Like, it's getting so ghetto. Like, our president, the people that's putting in office, Secretary of State. Like, I'm just sick and, like, bruh, like, y'all are embarrassing.
The US government acting like the reason TikTok is going to get banned is because of national security and concerns about Chinese communism are hilarious. Let's be real. The reason that TikTok is on the verge of getting a US ban is because it is a threat to the tech companies that are slowly finagling themselves into the upper echelons of US government. I think we've known for a while that big tech is in the pocket of government and vice versa. But look at all the changes to terms of service in Meta and X that went into effect around the beginning of this year. Look at Mark Zuckerberg coming out and talking about how he's just going to let AI and bots have free reign over Facebook, that they're going to do away with fact-checking. I think this has very little to do with being concerned about China taking the data from US citizens, and much more to do with an app not based in the US having a greater percentage of the market share of the tech industry and social media. And it's interesting when you look at the way that monetization has changed on various social media platforms in the last, half decade. There was a time where you could maybe make some money on Instagram. Maybe not directly in the way that people do on TikTok, but at least by building a business and getting some pretty good organic exposure without having to pay for it. Reach has gone away on Instagram. Facebook is a joke. Some people are monetized on Meta platforms, but they are making far, far less than they were a couple of years ago because Meta has stopped incentivizing content creation. As of right now, just about the only app that you can hope to maybe make some money on is TikTok. And TikTok's also still the only app where you can hope to maybe get some organic reach without having to pay for it. I don't think the United States likes that because they're not getting their cut of the pie. Now, I don't work in tech and I am not well studied on all these issues. This is my armchair take on the matter. So if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But I think they don't like it. I don't think that they like that they have less control over us while TikTok is big in this country. And that's what it boils down to. Control.
Okay, so the US government might ban TikTok because they don't want the Chinese government having access to Americans' information. So what do Americans do? we download Red Note and make it the #1 app in the country, and everybody's switching over to that, which is the Chinese TikTok, where their servers are only in China and America can't even think about touching it. I don't know if Americans are really bad at checkers or the Chinese are just great at chess. But either way, I'm here for it. They can have my information, I don't care. It's only gonna make my credit go up probably, so yay.
Now, remember back in 2024, TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance said it had no intention of selling the business after the US passed a law to force it to sell the hugely popular video app or be banned in America. ByteDance doesn't have any plans to sell TikTok, the company posted on its official account. TikTok did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the BBC. Now, the statement from ByteDance came in response to an article by the technology industry website, The Information, that said it was exploring the potential sale of TikTok's operation in the US without the algorithm that powers it. Foreign media reports of ByteDance selling TikTok are not true, the company said in the post, which included a screenshot of the article with the Chinese characters meaning false rumors stamped on it. Now, the sell or ban measure was signed into law by US President Joe Biden. Beijing's tightening grip on private companies had raised concerns in the US and other Western countries about how much control the Chinese Communist Party has over ByteDance and the data it holds. TikTok has repeatedly denied claims the Chinese government has control over ByteDance. We are confident and will keep fighting for your rights in the courts, said the TikTok boss in a video posted on the platform. The facts and the Constitution are on our side. Rest assured, we aren't going anywhere. Now, the Chinese government had also dismissed such concerns as paranoia and had warned that a TikTok ban would inevitably come back to bite the US. However, TikTok was not facing an immediate ban in the US. The new law gave ByteDance 9 months to sell the business and an additional 3-month grace period before a potential ban could be enforced. That meant that the sale deadline would most likely come sometime in 2025 after the winner of 2024 presidential election takes office. Fast forward, we're in 2025 and this issue has come back again. Now, Chinese officials have reportedly held preliminary talks about a potential option to sell TikTok's operations in the US to the billionaire Elon Musk, should the short video app be unable to avoid an impending ban. Another option is that Musk acts as a broker in a deal to sell the app. Beijing officials prefer that TikTok remains under the control of its Chinese parent, ByteDance, but have discussed other options, including a sale to Musk, Bloomberg reported. Now, the Financial Times reported on the same day that the officials had discussed the preliminary possibility of Musk functioning as a go-between for ByteDance and any potential buyer that would prevent the app from being shut down. We can't be expected to comment on pure fiction, a TikTok spokesperson said, responding to the report. Now, the company has repeatedly said it will not sell its US operation. TikTok's endless video feed has rapidly won a place as one of the world's biggest social networks. It first overtook Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube in terms of app downloads in 2018. And it has since become one of the most used apps in the US with 170 million users. However, the social network's rise has caused alarm in some quarters in the US, with politicians concerned that China's Communist Party would exert influence over the app's owners. The US House of Representatives in April passed a bill that would require ByteDance to sell the platform or face a total US ban. Now, last week, the Supreme Court seemed inclined to uphold the law enforcing a sale or ban of TikTok in the US by 19th January. TikTok's US operations could either be sold through a competitive process or an arrangement by the government, the Bloomberg report said, suggesting that the future of the app is no longer solely in ByteDance's control. China's government has a golden share in ByteDance, which several members of Congress have said gives the government power over TikTok. Now, under one scenario, Musk's social media platform X would take control of TikTok US and run the business together, the report said. Officials have yet to reach a consensus about how to proceed, according to Bloomberg. It remains unclear how much ByteDance is aware of the reported discussions or of Musk and TikTok's involvement, and there is no information on whether ByteDance, TikTok, and Musk have engaged in any talks regarding a possible deal. A sale to Musk would hand the world's richest man greater control of America's information ecosystem, after his takeover of Twitter, later renamed X, in October 2022. Now, Musk initially said that the social network would be politically neutral, but last year he used the platform to campaign directly for Donald Trump to be US president and to promote right-wing and far-right political content. Any takeover of a company of TikTok size, particularly by a rival, would usually attract intense scrutiny by competition regulators at the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice. Now, Trump last month said that his pick to chair the FTC, Andrew Ferguson, would focus on big tech censorship. A ban on the app would probably cause some disquiet among its US users. The influencer Mr. Beast, who broadcasts shows on TikTok's Alphabet-owned rival YouTube, on Monday joked on X, "Okay, fine, I'll buy TikTok so it doesn't get banned." Now, TikTok has previously said that the government's stake has no bearing on ByteDance's global operations outside of China, including TikTok. Musk, X, and China's Cyberspace Administration and Ministry of Commerce did not immediately respond to requests for comment by Reuters. Now, this is what is currently happening. From the look of things, or from what we've heard, from what we've read, we don't know what is going to happen to TikTok. Is it going to be banned? Is it going to be sold to Elon Musk or any other person? We don't know yet. But what do you, our viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts, your contributions in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video as we bring you another interesting video.